You see, one of the greatest challenges in life is learning to control your responses, especially when faced with disrespect. But I want to encourage you today to stay quiet after disrespect. Yes, quiet. Why? Because silence in moments like these is not weakness, it is strength. One of the greatest skills you can develop in life is the ability to stay quiet after disrespect. It's easy to react impulsively to defend your pride or lash out in anger when someone crosses the line. But silence in those moments is far more powerful than we often realize. When someone disrespects you, they are not just testing your patience, they are probing your character, your emotional intelligence, and your ability to maintain control. You see, silence in response to disrespect is not about avoiding confrontation or pretending that what was said or done didn't affect you. It's about exercising a higher form of self-control. When you stay quiet, you protect your dignity and show that you are in command of your emotions. You rise above the immediate desire to retaliate, and instead, you allow yourself the space to think clearly. This is critical because emotions can cloud judgment, leading to impulsive decisions that we later regret. But by staying silent, you give yourself the opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to choose your next steps wisely. There is a misconception that silence means weakness, that if you don't speak up immediately, you are letting the other person win. But think about this for a moment: who really wins when you lower yourself to engage in petty back and forth arguments or emotional outbursts? Is it truly worth it to let someone else dictate your mood or behavior? When you stay quiet after disrespect, you are not conceding defeat. In fact, you are demonstrating a deeper kind of strength, the strength of self-discipline. You are showing that you are not ruled by the actions or words of others, but by your own sense of self-respect. Silence also sends a powerful message to the one who has disrespected you. People often expect a reaction when they act in ways that provoke or insult. They are looking for you to respond in kind, to engage in the negativity they've initiated. But when you choose silence, you disrupt their expectations. It forces them to confront their own behavior, and it can be deeply unsettling for them. Your silence reflects back on them, highlighting their rudeness or immaturity, while you remain above the fray. In this way, silence can be more cutting than any words you could say. It speaks volumes without you having to utter a single syllable. But there is more to it than just keeping your composure in the heat of the moment. Silence gives you the space to regain your peace. You are not letting the other person dictate how you feel. Instead, you are stepping back from the situation, preserving your inner calm. In that quiet moment, you can choose whether the disrespect really deserves any further attention. And often you will find that it doesn't. Most acts of disrespect come from a place of insecurity or anger in the other person. They may not even be about you at all, but rather about something they are struggling with in their own life. By not reacting, you prevent yourself from becoming entangled in their issues, and you protect your own emotional well-being. Staying quiet also gives you the upper hand in terms of long-term impact. When you react immediately to disrespect, you may feel a brief sense of satisfaction. You said your piece, you defended yourself. But at what cost? You may have won the battle, but lost the bigger war, your sense of peace and self-control. However, when you remain silent, you keep your focus on what truly matters: your goals, your purpose, and your long-term growth. You don't let temporary disruptions pull you off course. This kind of emotional intelligence is rare, but it is invaluable. The higher perspective here is that disrespect from others is often a reflection of them, not you. It shows more about their character than it ever will about yours. So why give their actions more power than they deserve? Your silence protects your energy, allowing you to stay focused on what is important to you, rather than getting dragged into unnecessary conflicts. When you stay quiet, you are not ignoring the situation, you are rising above it. You are showing that your self-worth is not dependent on anyone else's opinion or behavior. Learning to stay quiet after disrespect is one of the most valuable lessons you can embrace. It teaches you the art of emotional control, the power of self-discipline, and the wisdom of choosing your battles. Silence is not about passivity, but but about choosing your responses wisely and maintaining your dignity in the process. By staying quiet, you protect your peace, maintain your focus, and demonstrate an inner strength that is far more powerful than any verbal response could ever be. Self-control is one of the most underrated yet essential qualities that can shape your life in ways you might not immediately realize. In moments of disrespect, self-control is the key that unlocks emotional strength and resilience. It's easy to lose control, to let someone's harsh words or actions trigger an emotional response. But true self-control allows you to take command of your emotions and not be dictated by the behavior of others. You see, when someone disrespects you, they are seeking to provoke a reaction. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they are attempting to pull you into their emotional storm. But self-control enables you to stand firm, to not be swept up by the tides of their negativity. In situations of disrespect, one of the most challenging yet empowering things you can do is refrain from responding immediately. It takes significant self-control to hold back, to not engage when every part of you wants to defend your honor or retaliate. But think of it this way: by choosing not to respond, you are in control of the situation. You are not giving the other person the satisfaction of dragging you down to their level. Your silence becomes a powerful shield, protecting your inner peace and integrity. People often believe that reacting swiftly shows strength, but more often than not, it's the quiet, calm response, or even no response at all, that truly demonstrates power. When you exercise self-control, you send a clear message: you are not a puppet to be manipulated by someone else's words or actions. You have mastery over your own emotions, and that is a rare and valuable form of strength. It is much harder to stay calm and quiet than it is to lash out in anger or frustration. Self-control in these moments is a reflection of maturity, of emotional intelligence. Now, the beauty of self-control is that it extends beyond the moment of disrespect. It allows you to take a step back and assess the situation from a place of clarity. Without the cloud of anger or frustration, you can better evaluate what the other person's words or actions truly mean. Often, disrespect says more about the person dishing it out than it does about you. It may stem from their own insecurities, fears, or frustrations, none of which are your responsibility. Self-control gives you the ability to recognize that their disrespect is a reflection of their inner turmoil, not a reflection of your worth. Self-control helps you avoid escalating situations unnecessarily. When you react impulsively, the situation often becomes more complicated, more intense, and ultimately more damaging to both parties. But when you control your response, or choose not to respond at all, you diffuse the potential for conflict. You take the higher road, allowing the situation to pass without adding fuel to the fire. This doesn't mean you are ignoring the disrespect, but rather that you are choosing not to be pulled into a cycle of negativity that will only drain your energy. Another crucial aspect of self-control is the way it preserves your energy. Responding to every insult or slight is exhausting, mentally and emotionally. It requires significant effort to engage in verbal sparring or heated arguments. But when you practice self-control, you conserve that energy. You direct it toward things that truly matter, things that will help you grow and progress in life. Self-control allows you to maintain focus on your goals, your aspirations, and your overall well-being. Rather than getting caught up in trivial conflicts, it teaches you that not everything deserves your attention or your energy. Over time, as you cultivate self-control, you will find that you are less affected by the disrespect of others. Their words may still sting in the moment, but you will no longer feel the need to respond or defend yourself. This is because self-control, when practiced consistently, strengthens your sense of self. You become more confident in who you are and less reliant on the approval or validation of others. You no longer feel the need to prove your worth to those who disrespect you because you already know your value. What's more, self-control helps you to see the bigger picture. When you don't react to every slight, you start to realize how insignificant most of these moments truly are. A rude comment here, a disrespectful gesture there, these are not the things that define your life or your worth. By exercising self-control, you keep your eyes on what really matters: your personal growth, your goals, your peace of mind. You realize that engaging with disrespect only distracts you from the things that are truly important. Self-control has a way of disarming those who seek to provoke you. When someone disrespects you and expects your reaction, your calm silence can leave them off balance. It shows them that their words have no power over you, and it forces them to reconsider their actions. It may even cause them to reflect on their own behavior in ways that your anger never could. In this way, self-control not only protects your peace, but also challenges others to rethink their approach. Self-control is not about suppressing your emotions, but about mastering them. It's about choosing how and when to respond and recognizing that silence can be a powerful response in itself. It's about understanding that your worth is not diminished by the disrespect of others, and that by controlling your reactions, you maintain your strength and dignity. Not every confrontation requires your attention or response. In fact, choosing your battles wisely is one of the most strategic decisions you can make in life. Often we believe that every act of disrespect, every challenge, or every slight demands our immediate engagement. We feel compelled to defend ourselves, to set the record straight, or to fight for our honor. But when you take a step back, you realize that not every situation is worthy of your time or energy. This is not about avoiding conflict out of fear or passivity. It's about understanding that your energy is finite and precious, and where you direct it matters. Life will throw countless challenges your way, some of which will be significant and require your full attention, while others will be mere distractions. The art of choosing your battles wisely lies in distinguishing between these two. If you expend energy on every minor slight or every instance of disrespect, you will find yourself constantly embroiled in conflict, mentally and emotionally exhausted, and unable to focus on what truly matters. You must develop the discernment to know when to engage and when to walk away, when to fight and when to let things go. Consider for a moment how much energy it takes to respond to every offense. Think of the mental strain, the emotional turbulence, and the time spent crafting comebacks or defending your position. Now ask yourself, are these moments worth all that effort? Most of the time, they are not. Most of the time, disrespect or conflict stems from someone else's issues, insecurities, or frustrations, and engaging with it only drags you down to their level. By choosing not to engage, by walking away from unnecessary battles, you protect your peace, your focus, and your emotional well-being. There is power in recognizing that you don't have to respond to everything. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every slight needs to be addressed. When you choose to disengage, you are not conceding defeat. You are, in fact, rising above the situation. You are showing that your sense of self-worth is not determined by someone else's opinion or actions. You are saying, in essence, this situation is not worthy of my attention. And that is a position of strength, not weakness. This doesn't mean that you should never stand up for yourself or address situations that truly matter. There are times when you must engage, when you must draw a line and defend your boundaries. But the key is knowing when those times are. When you are faced with disrespect, ask yourself, is this worth my time and energy? Will engaging in this conflict serve a higher purpose, or is it merely a distraction from the things that truly matter in my life? Most often, you will find that the answer is no. It's not worth it. Choosing your battles also means understanding that not all conflicts are created equal. Some are rooted in misunderstanding or miscommunication, while others are deliberate attempts to provoke or hurt you. When you take the time to assess the situation with a clear mind, you can determine whether the confrontation is worth engaging in or if it's better to walk away. This requires emotional intelligence and self-awareness, both of which are cultivated through practice and reflection. Walking away from a battle doesn't mean you're weak or afraid. On the contrary, it often takes more strength to disengage than to react. It takes strength to remain silent when someone is trying to provoke you. It takes strength to resist the urge to defend yourself when you know that doing so will only escalate the situation. And it takes strength to choose peace over conflict, especially in a world that often encourages us to fight back at every turn. Choosing your battles wisely is also about long-term thinking. When you engage in every conflict that comes your way, you risk becoming consumed by negativity. You become reactive rather than proactive, constantly putting out fires rather than focusing on your own growth and progress. But when you choose your battles carefully, you maintain control over your life. You don't allow external circumstances or other people's actions to dictate your emotional state or your direction. You stay focused on your goals, your values, and your purpose, and you let go of the things that don't align with that. It's important to remember that every time you engage in a conflict, you are investing your energy into it. And just like with any investment, you must ask yourself, is this a wise use of my resources? Will this conflict bring me closer to my goals, or is it simply a drain on my time and emotional energy? By making this evaluation, you become more strategic in how you approach life's challenges. When you choose your battles wisely, you set an example for others. People around you will see that you are not easily swayed by external forces, that you are deliberate in your actions, and that you don't get involved in unnecessary drama. This earns you respect, not because you fight every battle, but because you know when to step away. People will begin to recognize that your silence is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom and strength. Choosing your battles wisely is about protecting your energy, maintaining your peace, and focusing on what truly matters in your life. It's about understanding that not every act of disrespect deserves your attention, and that walking away from unnecessary conflict is often the best course of action. By cultivating this skill, you preserve your emotional well-being, stay focused on your goals, and demonstrate a level of maturity and strength that few people possess. Ultimately, the power lies not in fighting every battle, but in knowing which battles are worth fighting. Your self-worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how you perceive and value yourself. This understanding is crucial, especially when dealing with moments of disrespect. Too often we internalize the negative actions or words of others, allowing them to affect our self-image and confidence. But in reality, someone else's behavior is a reflection of their mindset, not yours. When you allow the opinions or actions of others to define how you feel about yourself, you give away your power. The truth is, your value remains constant no matter what anyone else says or does. When you grasp this, you begin to see disrespect in a new light. Rather than taking it personally or allowing it to diminish your self-esteem, you recognize that it has nothing to do with your inherent worth. In fact, many people who engage in disrespectful behavior are dealing with their own insecurities or internal battles. Their words or actions are often projections of their own issues, and they lash out as a way to cope with their frustrations. Once you understand this, it becomes easier to detach emotionally from the situation and to not let their negativity affect how you see yourself. This detachment doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect or allow people to mistreat you. It means that you don't allow their behavior to shake your self-confidence or sense of self-worth. When you have a strong foundation of self-worth, external negativity loses its impact. You understand that your value is intrinsic. It's not based on the approval, validation, or treatment of others. This realization empowers you to rise above petty conflicts and insults because you know deep down that your worth is not in question. It's important to reflect on how much we often tie our self-esteem to external factors. Whether it's the opinion of a boss, a friend, or even a stranger, we sometimes allow the way others treat us to dictate how we feel about ourselves. But this is a dangerous trap. When your self-worth is contingent upon external validation, you are always at the mercy of others. You become dependent on their approval, and any criticism or disrespect can send you into a downward spiral of self-doubt. But consider this, if you truly understand your value, why should the opinion of someone else have any bearing on your sense of worth? If someone disrespects you, that's a reflection of their character, not yours. Their inability to treat you with respect says nothing about your value as a person. When you recognize this, you stop taking things personally. You see that their actions are not a commentary on your worth, but on their lack of respect or emotional maturity. When you know your worth, you also know what you deserve. You understand that you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, and you set boundaries accordingly. These boundaries aren't about controlling others, they're about protecting yourself. You don't need to engage with people who don't respect you, nor do you need to prove your worth to them. Your worth is already established, and it's not up for debate. By setting clear boundaries, you demonstrate to others that you value yourself and will not tolerate disrespect. This understanding of self-worth also helps you manage your emotional responses to disrespect. When you're confident in your value, you don't feel the need to react impulsively or defend yourself. You don't have to get caught up in emotional exchanges or feel the pressure to win the argument. Instead, you remain calm, knowing that the disrespect says nothing about you and everything about the other person. This level of emotional maturity allows you to maintain your composure and protect your peace of mind. In fact, when you don't react to disrespect, it often has a disarming effect on the other person. They may expect you to retaliate, to defend yourself, or to react emotionally, but when you remain composed, it can leave them off balance. Your lack of reaction sends a powerful message that their words or actions have no power over you. They cannot shake your confidence because your sense of worth is not tied to their opinion. This often forces them to reconsider their behavior, and in some cases it may even lead to an apology or a change in how they treat you. When you know your worth, you surround yourself with people who uplift and respect you. You naturally distance yourself from those who don't value you or who consistently treat you poorly. This is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. It's about recognizing that you deserve healthy, respectful relationships. You start to attract people who see your value and who appreciate you for who you are, rather than those who seek to tear you down or undermine your confidence. The journey to understanding your self-worth is an ongoing process, but it's one of the most important investments you can make in yourself. It requires self-reflection, self-compassion, and the ability to separate your worth from external circumstances. Over time, as you cultivate a strong sense of self-worth, you will find that moments of disrespect no longer affect you in the same way. They may still sting in the moment, but they won't shake your confidence or cause you to question your value. You'll be able to walk away from those situations with your head held high, knowing that your worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how you see yourself. Your self-worth is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. When you have a strong sense of self-worth, you approach life with confidence, resilience, and clarity. You are no longer swayed by the opinions or actions of others, and you don't allow disrespect to dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead, you stand firm in your value, knowing that you are deserving of respect, kindness, and dignity regardless of how others choose to behave. In conclusion, staying quiet in the face of disrespect is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of emotional strength, wisdom, and self-worth. It is a powerful strategy that preserves your inner peace and redirects your energy towards more meaningful pursuits. When you choose silence over confrontation, you show that you are not defined by the words or actions of others, but by your own sense of value. By mastering the art of restraint, discerning when to engage, and focusing on what truly matters, you protect your emotional well-being and elevate yourself above unnecessary conflict. Remember, your self-worth is not up for debate. It's inherent, unshaken by external negativity, and is the guiding force that allows you to rise above challenges with grace and dignity.